So what we'll be doing in today's lecture is we will be revising, not exactly revising, but we'll be clarifying some of the formulas that we have already done. Now this question I expect from students, but none of you have asked me this. So let me first go to that, and then we'll be continuing with the questions of merger and acquisition. Is it all? So the concept is exchange ratio based upon MPS. Now if you will watch all previous lecture, I have told you this: exchange ratio based upon MPS is nothing but MPS of selling company divided by MPS of purchasing company is nothing but exchange ratio based upon MPS or exchange ratio based upon market value. But none of you asked me this. See, I told you that exchange ratio is nothing but what you are getting divided by what you are having from the point of view of selling company's shareholders. Because the exchange ratio is applicable to selling company shareholders. Now you should have asked me, sir, there is no link between these two. You are having is not MPS of purchasing company, getting is not MPS of selling company. You should have asked me this, that sir, how this is exchange ratio based upon market price per share. Before also I have told you, when you write down anything, when you understand anything in finance, understand it logically. Let me prove it. There is company X which is purchasing company. There is company Y which is selling company. Number of shares of purchasing company is 1 lakh. Number of shares of selling company is 50,000. EPS of this company is 10. Even this company is 10. PE ratio of this company is 10, this company is 5. So MPS of this company is 100 and this company is 50. Let's start it. Try to concentrate when it is written exchange ratio should be based upon MPS or market value. What we do, what I do, and what you have understood is this. Sir, then exchange ratio based upon MPS is MPS of a selling company, which is 50, divided by MPS of purchasing company, which is 100. It is 0.50. So exchange ratio is based upon market value. Absolutely yes. But try to understand the logic behind it. How many shareholders are there in selling company? They are 50,000 shareholders. They all want that their shares should be valued at market price. Their share should be valued at market price. What is market price of that company? Is 50. So how much value they want? Multiplied by 50, which is MPS. Alright, what is this? It is 25 lakhs rupees. So how much value the selling company shareholders want is 25 lakhs to all the shareholders? Are we giving them cash? No, we are purchasing company. We are giving them cash? The answer is no. Then what we are giving them? We are giving them shares of purchasing company. If we give 1 share of purchasing company, what it is worth? What it is worth is 100 rupees. Now we are giving shares of purchasing company. Huh? So what is the value of that share is rupees 100. How much value we want to pay to selling company? How much total rupees? How much total money? How much total worth? How much total value we need to pay to selling company is 25 lakhs rupees. Cross multiply it. How many shares of purchasing company is worth 25 lakhs? It is 25 lakh divided by 100, which is nothing but 25,000 shares. If purchasing company wants to give 25 lakhs rupees shares to selling company shareholders, and it is my shares which each share is having a worth of rupees 100, then I should give them 25,000 shares will be issued to selling company's shareholders. Alright. From the point of view of a selling company, what is exchange ratio? What they are getting? How many shares they are getting? 25,000 shares. How many shares they are having? 50,000 shares. Exchange ratio will be 0.50. So, whether you do it directly by this formula, what was this formula? 50 divided by 100 is 0.50. Or you do this long calculation, your exchange ratio is going to remain 0.5. What I was telling you is, the shortcut is absolutely alright. You can use it every time, but you should be logically clear what is happening. If someone asks you that how much value selling company has made of itself, or how much value you have made of selling company, then you should be able to say it is 25 lakhs. You should not, your knowledge should not be just limited of finding out exchange ratio. The selling company is valued at 25 lakhs. What is issued is the shares of purchasing company. How many shares are issued is 25,000 shares, and so exchange ratio is 0.5. But in shortcut way, you can do directly by this. It is market price of selling company divided by market price of purchasing company. And logic, or your logic should be absolutely clear. For your sake, you should also do the same question with EPS, earning per share. We have understood exchange ratio based upon EPS. Let us go to 7.1.8. P Limited is considering takeover of R Limited by the exchange of 4 new shares in P Limited for every 5 shares in R Limited. So P is a purchasing company, R is a selling company, and takeover R Limited by exchange of 4 shares. So how many R Limited shareholders will be getting is 4? For every 5 shares held. So what they are having is 5 shares. This will be nothing but exchange ratio. By which concept I have found out? Whatever you are getting divided by whatever you are having from the point of view of selling company. Is it all right? It is 0.8. Will be exchange ratio. I will be finding out profit after tax of P Limited, of R Limited. P Limited profit after tax will be 15 minus 30%. Is it alright? It is 10.5. And R Limited will be 13.5 minus 30%, because 30% is taxation. 13.5 minus 30%, it is 9.45. This is profit after tax. Number of shares is 25 crore and 15 crore. All the rupees are in crores. I will be getting answer of EPS. 10.5 divided by 25. It is 0.42. And this is 9.45 divided by 15. It is 0.63. Yes, now it is correct. 0.63. I need to find out MPS, which is nothing but EPS multiplied by PE ratio. EPS is given, PE ratio is 12. So 0.42 into 12. It is 5.04. And 0.63 into 50. It is 9.4. And what is market value of all the shareholders? This is answer number 1 and 2 both. Alright. It is MPS multiplied by N. This is 25 crore. This is just 5.04. 25 into 5.04. It is 126. And this is 9.45 multiplied by 15 crore. It is 141.75. 141.75. Thus are rupees in crores. Yes.
Sir, P ratio is 9 in R Limited.
So we have not done 9. Alright.
Sir,
No, we have
NPS would be
multiplied.
5.67.
Alright. Just a minute. It is 9.45 multiplied by 9. Yes, you are correct. 85.05. Thank you. 85.05. This is rupees in crores. See, you should not do this mistake. Huh? Corporate tax rate is given. Read the question perfectly. Is it alright? I forgot to deduct the tax before. Is it all? But this is answer number 1 and 2. Again, it is easy to find out market value of individual shareholders of both the companies. Price per share after merger. If nothing is given, price per share basically means market price per share. Is it all? For finding out market price per share after merger, first I'll require EPS 12. Is it all right? EPS 12 is earnings of company 1 plus earnings of company 2 plus synergic gain. Here it is not given. N1 plus N2 into exchange ratio. Earnings of company 1 is 10.5, 9.45. 10.5, 9.45. Synergic gain is 0. N1 is 25 crore. This all are in crores. So in denominator also I can write down 25. 15 into 0.8. So what is numerator? 10.5 plus 9.45. It is 19.95. What is denominator is 15.08. 15 multiplied by 0.8 plus 25 is 37. EPS 12 will be 19.95 divided by 37, which is 0.53918. Will be EPS 12. Let me first see the PE ratios if it is given or not. Price per share after merger. Now, the PE ratio is not given. I have told you before also. If PE ratio of merged entity is not given, you can take it is of purchasing company. PE ratio remains same. Price per share after merger will be nothing but this multiplied by 12. So MPS 12 will be is equal to EPS 12 multiplied by PE ratio 12, which is 0.53918 multiplied by 12 will be is equal to 0.53918 multiplied by 12. It is 6.47016. Is nothing but MPS. Next. Effect on share price of both the company if the director of P Limited expects that their own pre-merger P ratio to the applied combined earnings. Effect on share price of both the companies. Now understand, here there is a drafting mistake. This company will not be in existence after merger. What is effect on share price of P Limited is there? What was before MPS? 5.04. That's correct. So this answer, see, whatever is written in suggested, this answer should be drafted in this manner. Fourth one. Two companies, P Limited, R Limited. That's correct. R Limited will be closed or liquidated. What will be effect on MPS? Effect on MPS. What was the pre-merger MPS? Is the 5.04. What is the post-merger MPS? Is the 6.53918. 5.4701 6. That's correct. All right. If it is written shareholders of selling company, what will be effect on MPS? I am telling you how you should draft your question. See what they have given in the answer. All right. They have given it correctly. Let's start. So what is effect on MPS? For P Limited, it has increased or decreased? Increased. How much? It is 5.04, 6.47016 minus 5.04, which is 1.43016. 1.43016. That's it all. So, how much percentage it has increased? 1.43016 divided by 5.04 multiplied by 100. Is it all? So, how much percentage it has increased is this? 1.43016 divided by 5.04 multiplied by 100 is 28.37 percentage. Market price per share has increased. MPS per share has increased. Start. Now, let me go to R Limited shareholders. Try to understand, for company it is closed. Is it all right? So what is written? Effect on the share price of both the companies should not be written. Effect on share price of both the companies, shareholders should be written. But it is all right. We will interpret it as if we need to find out answers for shareholders. Is it all right? See, this is sure. What was their pre-price? Pre-merger, their market price of the share was 9.45. This is for sure. That is 9.45 is MPS. 0.63. We have done 0.63 into 9.
It should be 5.67.
Right. 0.63 into 9. It is 5.67. You should have told me before. 5.67. Is it all? So market value of all the shareholders will change. It will be 5.67 into 15. 85.05. Alright. So what was pre-merger MPS was? We have taken here any other point? 9.45. No. P ratio. This is all we need not rectify. What was pre-merger MPS? 5.67. What is a post-merger EPS? Concentrate. 6.47016. It is post-merger MPS. Can we compare this two? Yes or no, and why? Any student can give me this answer. No one? Mac, Stuti? Can I compare this to MPS? I have compared this to MPS.
Sir, in R Limited, you cannot compare these two.
Why?
We need to find equivalent MPS.
Exactly. Is it all? See, also, logically, this is of P Limited. This is of P Limited. This is of R Limited. This is not of R Limited. This is of P Limited. This is post-merger MPS of P Limited. This cannot be compared. Then what can be compared? I'll tell you. Equivalent MPS. What is the MPS 126.47016 multiplied by exchange ratio? MPS 12 multiplied by exchange ratio. What is exchange ratio? Is 0.8. It is 6.47016 multiplied by 0.8. It is 5.1761. So there. Now this two can be compared. The answer is yes. It's correct. I have got this market price share, but for every share held, I have got only 0.8 share. So I should multiply it with 0.8 to find out my equivalent MPS. Rightly told. Right. Sir, how to find out equivalent EPS? See, when we were comparing earning per share, we were comparing equivalent EPS for selling company. It was same. EPS 1-2 multiplied by exchange ratio. Where was nothing but equivalent EPS, MPS, EPS, and this is equivalent MPS. What is the difference in this? This has, I think, decreased. 5.67 minus 5.1761. It is 0.4939 decrease. Decreased. So, how much? Yes.
Sir, shouldn't you multiply the exchange ratio with 5.67? The post MPS would remain same, right?
No, that's all right. I'll tell you why. Is it all right? I'll give you a logic why it cannot be multiplied with a exchange ratio. I am finding out first percentage. It is 0.4939 divided by 5.67 multiplied by 100. Is it all? From pre, how much it has decreased? How much percentage it has decreased? 0.4939 divided by 5.67 multiplied by 100. It is 8.7107. Percentage it has decreased from pre. As far as R Limited is concerned. Sorry. Stuti, your answer, why it should be multiplied with only post. See, in EPS also we were multiplying it with post. In MPS also we should multiply it with post. See, where this equivalent concept comes into picture when you want to compare two things. Now, I am comparing market value of shareholders of a selling company. What was their pre-answer? How many shares they were holding? They were holding 15 crore shares at a market value of 5.67. Stop it. Whatever the answer is. Stop it. Post. How many shares they were holding? 15 crore. No. Now they were holding 15 crore into 0.8 shares. At what rate? At a rate of 6.47. This will be their profit or loss, whatever it is. Now, if you want shortcut for this, can you take 15 common? Yes. I am taking 15 common. Huh? Can I write 5.67? This is subtracted actually. It's correct. Actually, this is subtracted from this. So first I should write down this. 0.8. See, I have taken 15 common. Huh? 0.8 multiplied by 6.47. This is their post MPS or post equivalent MPS minus 5.67. And believe me, this will give the same answer in shortcut manner. So I am removing 15 if I want to compare market price per share. What was the pre? 5.67. What was the post? 6.47. No. Then I will compare equivalent MPS, and equivalent MPS will be MPS 1-2 multiplied by this exchange ratio. Is it all right? This is what I am getting. Is it all? And what is equivalent MPS I am getting? It is a 5.1761. Is it all right? You got it, Stuti?
Yes, sir, got it.
You should multiply it with post MPS. Is it? All right. Yes. If you have understood it, you need to give me this answer. What does this 5.1761 means to selling companies, the shareholders? 5.1761. So what does this mean to selling companies, the shareholders?
Sir, this means that if they would be having same number of shares.
All right. So for one share they were holding, yes, you are going in correct direction. Tell me. For one share they were holding in selling company. Yes, good. Then?
So if they would be having same number of shares
Alright.
after merger also,
All right.
then the EPS would be this.
MPS.
Sorry, MPS, yeah.
All right, Ezra. If they would be getting same number of shares after merger also, they would be having this per share, the market value per share would be this. So, for one share, they were holding of selling company. How many they are holding? They are holding 15 crore shares. But say I am shareholder, I was having only one share. Is it alright? Now, of course, I am having 0.8 share. But previously I was having, say 10 share, I'll tell you. I was previously having 10 share, now I am having 8 shares. So forget about 8 shares. For every share, what I was holding in selling company, per share, what I am getting market value. Per share, I am getting market value of number of shares holded in selling company. Yes. Now I am in purchasing company. For all the shares I have got in purchasing company, what is the market value is 6.47016. But equivalent for comparing, it should be 5.1761. Try to concentrate what you are comparing. For your 15 crore shares, what is your market value? For your 15 crore shares, so all of you are getting this, right? For every one share holded in selling company, the worth is 5.1761. That is nothing but equivalent MPS concept. Tomorrow what we'll be doing in before the lecture is we will be clarifying this concept of equivalent MPS, equivalent EPS. Sorry. So I have found out both the answers in previous question. Let me go to next question. 7.1.9. The following information is provided relating to acquiring company Efficient Limited. So this is purchasing company. And the target company Healthy Limited. So this is selling company. Number of shares are given. Market capitalization, that is total market value is given. P ratio is given. Reserves and surplus is given. And promoters holding is given. This is good. Board of directors of both the companies have decided to give a fair deal to the shareholders, and accordingly for swap ratio is exchange ratio, the weights are decided as 40%, 25% and 35% respectively for earnings, book value and market price of share of each company. Calculate the swap ratio and also calculate promoters holding after acquisition. Alright, that I'll do it. What is the EPS of Efficient Limited after acquisition and Healthy Limited? That also I'll do it. What is the expected market price per share and market capitalization of Efficient Limited after acquisition, assuming the PE ratio of the firm's Efficient Limited remains unchanged? This is also easy. Calculate a free float market capitalization of merged firm. This is new. Is it alright? So I am finding out some of the things which are not given in the question. Is it alright? So for Efficient Limited, for Healthy Limited. Is it alright? What is not given? Market capitalization, that is total market value is given, number of shares is given, but MPS is not given. So 500 divided by 10, both are in lakhs, will be 50. MPS will be 50, which is 500 lakhs divided by 10 lakhs, which is nothing but 50. 750 lakhs divided by 7.5. Will be nothing but 100. Is it alright? 750 divided by 7.5, which is nothing but 100. Will be MPS. This is MPS of Efficient Limited. This is MPS of Healthy Limited. Is it alright? what is given? Promoters holding in number of shares. I am finding out promoters holding in percentage terms, so that I can compare before and after. Sorry. So how many total number of shares are there is 10 lakhs, out of which 4.75 lakhs are holded by promoters, which is nothing but 4.75 divided by 10 multiplied by 100, that is 47.5%. So out of full company, 47.5% is nothing but promoters holding. Here total number of shares are 7.5 lakhs and 5 lakh shares are holded by promoters. Sorry. So 5 divided by 7.5, it is 66.67% is nothing but promoters holdings. This was MPS before merger. Start. This is very important and a good point as far as merger and acquisition is concerned. Board of the directors have decided to give a fair deal to the shareholders, and accordingly the exchange ratio will be, this is good. Weights are decided as a 40%, 25% and 35%. 40%, 25% and 35%. Respectively for earnings, book value and market price. For earnings, book value and market price. These are the weight decided. Is it alright? Now sir, we have found out exchange ratio, but this is first time we are finding out. Let me first find out and then I am explaining you what they are trying to say. Market price of share of each company. Is it right? Now, in this, two things we are absolutely clear. We know how to find out exchange ratio based upon earnings. Exchange ratio based upon EPS is EPS of selling company divided by EPS of purchasing company. What is EPS of selling company? Not given. Is it? I need to find it out. Is it alright? Can I find out? The answer is yes. How? PE ratio is MPS divided by EPS. Is it right? So EPS will be nothing but MPS divided by PE ratio. Am I having MPS? Yes. Am I having PE ratio? Yes. So I can find out even EPS. MPS 50 divided by 10 is 5. MPS 100 divided by 5 is 20. That's correct. So healthy limited is healthy. EPS is even 20%, 20 rupees. That's correct. So EPS is 5, that is 20. That's correct. So EPS of selling company is 20. EPS of purchasing company is 5. And exchange ratio will be 4. Can exchange ratio be 4? Yes. For every 1 share held in the selling company, you will be getting 4 shares of purchasing company. Normally it is less, but it is not a thumb rule. So what is the exchange ratio based upon earnings? Is 4. What is exchange ratio based upon MPS? MPS of selling company divided by MPS of purchasing company. What is MPS of selling company? Is 100 divided by 50 is 2. Is it alright? So what is exchange ratio based upon market price? Is nothing but 2. Is it alright? What is exchange ratio based upon book value? Please understand the concept remains same. It is book value of selling company divided by book value of purchasing company. Is it alright? What is book value of selling company? I need to find out. What is book value? Total assets minus outside liability is nothing but book value. Neither the information of asset is given, neither the information of liability is given. But please try to understand, if this is my balance sheet, if I want to find out answer of assets minus liability. I can find out in another manner also, which is nothing but equity plus reserves. Is this information given? The answer is yes. I hope you understand. This is a tallied answer. If I want to find out assets minus outside liability, then asset minus outside liability will be equal to equity plus reserves. So I can find out total book value by it. Sorry. Let me find out total book value. It is market capitalization. Sorry. No, it should not be market capitalization. Sorry. I need to find out book value. Book value is equity plus reserves. I am having reserves. I need to find out equity. Sorry. Let me find out book value of both the companies. Then I'll be putting it in this formula. Sorry. P Limited. Sorry. Efficient and healthy. What is the total book value? I am finding out. Equity plus reserves. Reserves is directly given. 300, 165. What is equity? Not in terms of book market value. In terms of book value, what is equity? Number of shares 10 multiplied by face value 10. It is 10 lakhs into 10 is 100 lakhs. Equity is 7.5 lakhs. So face value is 10. So it is 75 lakhs. These are also in lakhs. These are also in lakhs. This is 400 lakhs. This is 240. Let's start it. Lakhs. This is total book value divided by number of shares will give me what is number of shares over here is 10 and 7.5. I will be getting book value per share. This is 40. This is 240 divided by 7.5. It is 32. Start. Book value of selling company 32 divided by book value of purchasing company is 40. Start. 32 divided by 40. It is 0.8. This is exchange ratio based upon book value. It is 0.8. So this two we were knowing. This we have newly found out. Now you will tell me, sir, what is exchange ratio? 4, 2 or 0.8? The exchange ratio is neither 4, neither 0.8 nor 2. But it is a weighted average of all three, where the weight is to be given this much for each of the exchange ratio. So this I'll be taking as I, this I'll be taking as W, sigma I W divided by sigma W. This is total 100%, so I can just do this. It is 1.6, 0.8 into 25% is 0.2. 2 into 35% is 0.7. Sorry. Yes, it is 0.7. This is 2.5. So what is 2.5? It is weighted average exchange ratio. So our exchange ratio will be is equal to 2.5. See what they were giving in the question? Exchange ratio based upon market price. Exchange ratio based upon earning per share. New concept, exchange ratio based upon book value. And more new concept, exchange ratio having a weighted average of all these three exchange ratio, which is nothing but 2.5. So this is how the exchange ratio can be determined in real life. So exchange ratio in this case will be 2.5. Let me go to the questions. Calculate the swap ratio, which I have calculated, 2.5. And also calculate promoters holding in percentage after acquisition. Promoters holding in percentage after acquisition. After acquisition, we need to yet find out what is the promoters holding in percentage. We will be finding it out. What is EPS of Efficient Limited after acquisition of Healthy Limited? This I am finding out first. Start. EPS 1 2. Earnings of company 1. Earnings of company 1 will be EPS multiplied by number of shares. 10 into 5 is 50 lakhs. Plus earnings of company 2, 20 into 7.5 is 150 lakhs. 7.5 into 20, which is 150 lakhs. Synergic gain is not given as 0. Divided by N1, N1 is 10 into 7.5 into exchange ratio is 2.5. This will be 200 divided by 28.75. Will be EPS 1-2. Where EPS 1-2 will be 200 divided by 28.75. It is 6.9565. Will be EPS 1-2. Let me see what they are finding out. What is EPS of Efficient Limited after acquisition of Healthy Limited? So this is my answer number 2. Let's start. Third, what is the expected market price per share and market capitalization of Efficient Limited after acquisition, assuming PE ratio of a firm Efficient Limited remains unchanged? So PE ratio will remain 10. They are telling me to find out MPS 1-2. MPS 1-2 is equal to EPS 1-2 multiplied by PE 1-2. EPS 1-2 is 6.9565 multiplied by 10 is 69.565 rupees per share, which will be MPS 1-2. Alright. What is the expected market price per share and market capitalization of Efficient Limited? I need to also find out market capitalization of Efficient Limited. Market cap is nothing but number of shares in Efficient Limited post merger is this. Is it all right? What is 7.5 into 2.5? It is 18.75. Is it all? So 10 plus 18.75. This should be plus. 10 plus 18.75. These are total number of shares. Old shares of Efficient Limited. Newly issued share of Efficient Limited. Is it all? Multiplied by 69.565. 10 plus 18.75 is 28.75 multiplied by 69.565. It is 199.99. That is 2000 lakhs. This is market capitalization of 1-2. Is it alright? Alright. Fourth is important. Calculate free float market capitalization of merge firm. I'll tell you what is the meaning of free float market capitalization. But before that, let me give you some idea about percentage of shareholdings. Is it alright? This is Efficient Healthy and merge firm. In merge also, there are shareholders of Efficient, there are shareholders of Healthy. What was Efficient promoters percentage? In Efficient, I have found out before, it was 47.5%. Healthy, it was higher, 66.67%. Correct. Now try to concentrate. After merger, how many shareholders are of Efficient Limited? Same number of shareholders? How many number of shareholders are there of Efficient Limited is 10 lakhs, out of which 10 lakhs is total. Promoters holding is 4.5 lakhs. This will still remain same. There is no change in it. Is it alright? How
So
many?
4.75.
It is
4.75.
4.75. Yes. Thank you. 4.75 lakhs will be promoters holdings. For Healthy Limited in merge firm, it is difficult. Starting. How many total number of shares are issued to Healthy Limited? Is 18.75? How many of them was issued to promoters? How many of them were issued to promoters? Is it alright? How many shares were holded by promoters before? 5 lakh. What was their exchange ratio? 2.5. So how much might be issued to promoters out of this is 5 into 2.5? That is, it is 12.5. 5 into 2.5. It is 12.5. Are holded by promoters. These are total. Is it alright? So, after merger also, from all the shares of Efficient Limited, this were holded by promoters. So 5.25 was holded by market. That is to general public. It was issued in general public. After merger, the total number of shares issued to selling company were 18.75, out of which 12.5 was issued to promoters. So how much were issued to public? It is 18.75 minus 12.5, which is 6.25. Lakhs was issued to public. That's correct. So, what is the total number of shares of merged company? 28.75. Out of this 28.75, how many are holded by both promoters, Efficient as well as Healthy? Both were promoters. They were not issued in market. So, in new company also, they will still remain promoters holding. So, what is the total promoter holding? Is 12.5 plus 4.75, which is nothing but 17.25. How much number of shares will be in market? 5.25 plus 6.25. This is 11.5. If you total this out, it will be is equal to this. 28.75. So what I have calculated is promoters holding in merge firm. Promoters holding in merge firm. Is it all right? Now what they are asking me? They are asking me what is free float market capitalization. Try to concentrate. This is in fourth or fifth question. Fourth question. What is free float market cap? See, what is the free float market cap? The market capitalization which can change easily, which is tradable in the market, which are in market with general public and not with promoters, which can be freely traded in the market. Believe me, only this shares in the new company can be freely traded in the market. That is 11.50 lakh shares can only be traded in the market. Is it correct? Multiplied by market price per share is 69.565 in merged entity. and total of this 11.5 multiplied by 69.565. It is 799.99. That is 800. Is free float market capitalization. Got it. Let me also find out a percentage of promoters holding. Percentage of promoter. Now, who are the promoters? Both the promoters are efficient as well as healthy. Is it? It is 17.25 out of 28.75. 17.25 out of 28.75 is a 60 percentage. Is it all right? It is 60 percentage. Percentage of promoters holding is 60 percentage, and this is our answer of free float market capitalization. This much market cap is with public. Remaining market cap is with promoters. Is it all right? Let me also do this. What was total market cap? 2000. Out of this, something will be with public, something will be with promoters. We have found out the promoter shareholdings. It is 60%. So this should be 40%. What is 60% of this? 1200 lakhs. Market capitalization is with promoters, and 800 lakhs market capitalization is with public. We have found out it in different manner, but the answer is same, and answer will be same. This is market capitalization, that is public, that is with public, so freely traded, and so it is known as free float market capitalization. This is total market cap holded by promoters, free float market capitalization. Sorry. This is nothing but this question. 10th question will be doing last one. Last means in category 1 we will be doing last, not last at the end of the chapter, but at category 1 we will be doing last. 11. You have been provided the following financial data of two companies. This is Krishna Rama. Company Rama Limited is acquiring Company Krishna Limited. Please concentrate. Your right hand side company is a purchasing company. Company Rama Limited is acquiring. So this is purchasing company. This is selling company. Exchanging its shares on 1-to-1 basis for Company Krishna. The exchange ratio is based upon market price of the shares of two company. Let me find out exchange ratio. MPS of selling company divided by MPS of purchasing company. MPS of selling company is 35. MPS of purchasing company is also 35. Exchange ratio will be 1. What will be EPS subsequent to merger? EPS 1-2 will be earnings of 1 plus earnings of 2 plus synergic gain divided by N1 plus N2 into exchange ratio. Earnings of company 1, it is after taxes. Is it alright? 7 lakhs. Earnings of company 2 is 10 lakhs divided by N1 2 lakhs plus N2 4 lakhs into exchange ratio is 1. This is 17 lakhs divided by 6 lakhs.
Sir, 2 lakhs into exchange ratio.
Yes, sir. This should be 4. Thank you. See what I am making the same mistake. The answer would have remained same, but still. Purchasing company is 10 lakhs. So earnings of company 1 I should write down 10 lakhs plus. Earnings of company 2 is 7 lakhs. Company 2 is Krishna Limited is 7 lakhs. So I should write down 7 lakhs over here. 0 upon number of shares of company 1 4 lakhs. Number of shares of company 2 2 lakhs into 1. But as the exchange ratio is 1, this answer will remain same. 17 divided by 6. It is 2.83. Will be EPS. This is EPS 1-2 question number 1. What is change in EPS for shareholders of company Rama Limited and Krishna Limited? In answer number 2, we are finding out change in EPS, that is earning per share. Purchasing company, say I am also writing down in this manner. Selling company and purchasing company. Selling company is Krishna and this is Rama. Pre-merger, post-merger, EPS. Let me write down first pre-merger EPS, 3.5 and 2.5. Post-merger EPS of purchasing company is EPS 1-2. Post-merger EPS of purchasing company is EPS 1-2. What is EPS 1-2 is 2.83. Post-merger EPS of selling company is EPS 1-2 multiplied by exchange ratio. Whenever it is selling company and you are comparing per share, you should always compare equivalent EPS. We have done it n numbers of times, we are not repeating. What is EPS 1-2 is 2.83 multiplied by what? It is remaining same in this question, but in all questions it will not remain same. Is it right? This is 2.83. What is change in EPS? Is 2.83 minus 3.5. 2.83 minus 3.5. It is minus 0.67. This is 2.83 minus 2.5 is 0.3 positive. Change in per share is this. Is not it? EPS per share. Third, sir, you'll say me, sir, this net answer should be 0. No. Net answer will be 0 if you are finding out total, not if you are finding out per share. Per share it might be 0, might not be 0. Believe me, if it was a total earnings, this would have been 0. Let me find out. 0.67 multiplied by 2 lakhs multiplied by 4 lakhs. 2 lakhs into 0.67. It is 1,34,000. Negative total earnings 4 lakh into 0.33. It is 1,32,000. This is point difference which we are getting of 2,000 rupees. It is point difference. Is that all? So it is positive 1,32,000. Let me make this 33,000 and this also 33,000. Stop. Because this is not 0.67. It is 0.666666 something. This is 0.333333 something. Is it all right? So this is 0. Total earnings will be 0, but EPS net you cannot do net of EPS. Is it all? Earning per share cannot be netted. Total earnings can be netted and total profit will be 0 if the synergic gain is 0. Determine the market value of post-merger firm. P ratio is likely to remain same. Is it all right? I'm doing third over here. Let me change the color. It is EPS 1-2, 2.83 and P ratio of purchasing company is remaining same. P ratio of purchasing company is 14. So it is 14 into 2.83. 39.62 will be MPS 1-2. Third answer. Fourth, ascertain the profits occurring to shareholders of both the companies. See, now again they have not specified whether it is earnings based upon market value or earnings based upon earnings. Earnings based upon earnings, a profit based upon earnings is this. I've already found out. Is it all right? So let me find out in fourth question, profit based upon market value. Is it all right? Fourth, profits based upon market value. Selling company, purchasing company, pre post. What is a purchasing company market price per share multiplied by 4 lakhs? What was pre? 4 lakh into 35. What was pre for selling company? 2 lakh into 35. What is the post for purchasing company? 39.62 multiplied by 4 lakhs. What is a post for, that is post merger, for selling company? Now 2 lakh into exchange ratio. Exchange ratio is 1. Is it alright? Multiplied by 39.62. What will be profit or loss? You can find out this answer, you can find out this answer, but I can do this. 39.62 minus 35 multiplied by 2 lakhs. It is 9,24,000. This is 39.62 minus 35 multiplied by 4 lakhs. It is 18,48,000. Total is 18,48,000 plus 9,24,000. It is 27,72,000. Easiest sum and normal sum that that is asked in examination. Sorry. Yes, any student who is with me and can tell me a direct way to find out this answer. It is not important for examination once again, but I want a direct way by which I will be getting total profit of this both companies' shareholders. Anyone?
EPS 1:2 into PE ratio.
EPS 1:2.
Yes, 2.83.
All right, let me do it. 2.83
into PE ratio 14.
all right,
Into 6 lakhs, so we'll get new market capitalization.
all right. So you first found out new market cap, then
Yes, then the old market cap, we are already almost having it in the question itself.
all right, you can find out old market cap by adding these two figures. Agreed. And the difference will be
7 lakhs into PE ratio and 10 lakhs into PE ratio. We will find out old market cap, and when we subtract it, we will get 27.
this is old market cap. It is given. Is it 4 lakh into 35 and 2 lakh into 35?
Yes. So you want still another way?
Yes, I want still another way. This is all right. Your answer is correct. Let me tell you, there is nothing incorrect in it. New market cap minus old market cap is equal to benefit in market cap. Any other student with any other way? See, I'll tell you.
4.62 into 6 lakh.
What is 4.62?
The difference.
That is all right. But here as the exchange ratio is 1, so you can do it.
Sir, increase in market value of this share into total shares.
All right. This is not absolutely correct. Any other student? See, merger and acquisition is always categorized as an easy subject. Easy point from the point of view of examination. But don't do this. Learn the subject for practical life also, not just for examination. Otherwise, it will be reduced to finding out EPS, MPS, post-merger, what are the benefits of shareholders, what are not the benefit of shareholders. You will never understand and never get an idea in your practical life what is merger and acquisition. Sorry. If you are not able to find out this answer by two different ways. One is by which Mac has found out. Another is the way which is never asked in examination, but you should be knowing it. Is it correct? What is synergic gain? Is 0. So total profit should be 0. But it is not 0. It is 27,72,000. Correct. Why it happens? Because we are finding out profit based upon market value. Correct. What was earnings of purchasing company? The P ratio is remaining same, so there will be no benefit. Is correct. But what were earnings of selling company? Earnings of selling company were 7 lakhs rupees. Earnings of selling company was 7 lakhs rupees. First, it was multiplied with a P ratio of 10. Now it will be multiplied by PE ratio of 14, which is new PE ratio. Is it correct? 7 lakh into 4, which is nothing but 28 lakhs rupees. Sir, it is not 27 lakh 72,000. Agreed. Do it in your Excel. Do it in your calculator with taking 10 digits. Your answer will be 28 lakhs over here. Is correct. So rounding off error this much, it is not rounding off error. Try to understand. It is difference because of rounding off. Try to concentrate where we have done rounding off. Here itself. When we do rounding off over here, even it will be rounding off over here. That's correct. So this is a difference because you have rounded off to 2 digit. If you round it off to 20 digit, this difference will be less. So this is not termed as rounding. This is difference because of rounding off. But this you should be knowing. That's correct. See, we have done this. How to find out benefits of merger? When the concept is of market value. That's correct. Then the benefits of merger can be n numbers of things. Number 1, profit because of earnings of a selling company multiplied by difference in PE ratio. Loss of earnings of purchasing company multiplied by difference in PE ratio. Let me write down multiplied by so that it is understood. Why there is loss? If PE ratio is reducing. See that full-fledged charts that we have done. Is it correct? Plus a profit of synergic gain in terms of earnings multiplied by new PE ratio. These are nothing but benefits of merger. If you add it with old market value of both the companies, you will be getting new market cap. Sir, why this is not important in examination? Because you always find out market cap by N12 into MPS 12. And this is an easy way. I agreed it is an easy way. But when you will go to practical life, by mistake you will say that merger and acquisition is my favorite topic in your interview. When they will ask you practical question, they will not ask you to find out market capitalization if there is a merger. They will tell you to find out what are the benefits of merger, how you will find it, how the PE ratio will help of purchasing company and selling company, which PE ratio is lower than the company will be benefited or the merger will be having a benefits, how synergic gain will help in benefits of merger. So you will be asked that type of question, and without this clarity, you will not be able to do it. Sir, we have not done this. You can watch the first lecture of merger and acquisition. First and second lecture, we had discussed only this point. Correct. So only I have not taken questions before. So that you are not just answering the 4 questions that are given in this particular question. And believe me, if I categorize this, if I explain this formula to a standard 10th student, they will be also easily able to recall it and recalculate this 4 questions. So there is no rocket science in solving this 4 questions. But understanding it is also somewhat relevant and important when you'll go to your practical life. 7.1.12. Reliable Industries Limited is considering a takeover of Sunflower. So this is purchasing, this is selling. Industries Limited, the particulars of two companies are given. Earning after tax is given. Equity shares outstanding is given. So these are number of shares. Earning per share is given is 20 lakh divided by 10 lakhs 2. 10 lakh divided by 10 lakh is 1. PE ratio is given is 10. I can find out MPS. EPS multiplied by PE ratio is 20. 5 into 1 is 5. What is the market value of each company before merger? Let me answer number 1. It is a Reliable and a Sunflower. Market value of each company is nothing but MPS multiplied by number of shares. So MPS is 20, number of shares is 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs into 20 is 200 lakhs or 2 crores. 10 lakh into 5 is 50 lakhs of Sun Limited. Number 2. Assume that the management of RIL estimates that the shareholders of SIL will accept an offer of 1 share of RIL for 4 shares of SIL. So what they will be getting 1. For what they are having 4. It is 0.25. Which will be exchange ratio. This is what RIL feels. What is the new price per share? Are the shareholders of RIL better or worse off than they were before the merger? So we are assuming exchange ratio is 0.25. What is new price per share? For that I need to find out EPS 1, 2. Earnings of company 1, 20 lakhs plus 10 lakhs. Synergic gain is 0 divided by number of shares at 10 lakhs plus 10 lakhs into 0.25. This is 30 divided by 12 lakh 50,000. It is 2.4 is EPS 1, 2. Assuming PE ratio of RIL will remain same, we are finding out MPS 1, 2, which will be 2.4 multiplied by PE ratio of purchasing company, which is 10. It is the 24. Are the shareholders of RIL better or worse off than they were before merger? Is it alright? And they are talking only about RIL. RIL shareholders were having 10 lakh shares. Now also they will be having 10 lakh shares. What was MPS before? Was 20 rupees. After merger, what is expected MPS is 24 rupees. They are better off by 4 rupees per share. Now, sir, should not we find out equivalent MPS? No, because we are talking only about purchasing company. This is of RIL, which is a purchasing company. Sir, why we are not finding out of selling company? Because selling company's benefit we are not asked. Is it alright? Due to synergy effect, the management of RIL estimates that earnings will increase by 20%. 20% of which company? Total. Is it alright? What are the new post-merger EPS and price per share? Will the shareholders be better off or worse off than before the merger? Is it alright? Alright. So what will be the synergic gain they are saying? I need to find out EPS 1, 2 again. Why? I'll tell you. Here I have taken synergic gain as 0. So in third question, I'll have to find out all the things again. Sorry. Third, EPS 1-2 will be is equal to 30 lakhs is earnings of both the company plus synergic gain. What is synergic gain? They are saying is due to synergic effect, the management of RIL estimates that earnings will increase by 20%. Let me see the suggested way. They have taken 20% only of RIL or of merge. No, they have taken off merge, and it is logical to take off merge. If nothing is given, you should take that after merger. If the synergic gain is 20%, what will be synergic gain? 20% into 30 lakhs. Is it all right? It is 3.6 lakhs. Is it all right? It will be 6 lakhs. 20% of 30 lakhs will be 6 lakhs. Divided by, this is E earnings of company 1 plus earnings of company 2 plus synergic gain, divided by N1 plus N2 is now remaining same. Is it alright? This is 12.5 lakhs. Synergic gain will not affect number of shares in merged entity. This is 36 lakh divided by 12.5 lakhs. It is 2.88 rupees. It is EPS 1-2. P ratio, still I am assuming it is remaining same. The management earning will, what will be new post merger EPS? Is it all? Assuming P ratio remaining same, MPS 1-2 will be EPS 1-2 multiplied by P ratio of merged entities remaining 10. So it will be 28.8 rupees. Let's start it. Fourth. It is third itself. But they are saying whether the shareholders be better off or worse off before the merger. Not of RIL. Now they are not specifying of RIL, they are specifying of both. Is it all right? So shareholders of purchasing company and selling company. And we will be talking in terms of market value. Is it all right? Let me find out the pre-market value of purchasing company. It is number of shares 10 lakh into 20. It is 200 lakhs. Selling company 10 lakhs into 5. I'm taking market value. Yes. 10 lakh into 5 is 15 lakhs. Before merger, is it all right? Post. They are still holding 20 lakh shares. 10 lakh shares. Into MPS 1-2, it is 28.8. So it will be 10 lakhs into 28.8. And they were holding how many shares? 10 lakh shares, but now exchange ratio is 0.25. So it is 10 lakhs into 0.25 into 28.8. This is what we say equivalent MPS. Now you can understand. If you want to compare this and this figure, you should compare MPS of this and equivalent MPS of this. Let me find out both the figures. What are this? This is 288 lakhs. Here the profit is 88 lakhs. Here it is, I need to find it out. It is 10 into 2.5 is this is 2.5, right? 10 into 0.25 is 2.5. Multiplied by 28.8, it is 72. What is benefit for them? It is 22. What is the total benefit? 110 lakhs. Alright. This is the total benefit to both the company's shareholders. Again, let us go beyond examination and understand something. Alright. How this 110 lakhs rupees, the total benefit can be found out. I am giving Max answer first, what he has given. Sir, what was the pre-market value? Find out. I can easily find it out over here. It is 200 plus 50. It is 250. What is a post-market value, post-merger of combined company? This is of individual company, but total. Sorry. That is individual companies, a total 200 plus 50 lakhs. Right. Sir, what will be post-market value? It is 28.8 multiplied by number of shares. Number of shares will be 12.5. It is 12.5. 28.8 into 12.5. It is 360. What is the pre? 250. Post is 360. Benefit is 110. Meg, you have given the answer. I have justified it. I want my way to find out 110 lakhs. Any student who can help me out. The student who will put on first mic, I'll ask him or her. Any student? Stuti, you will try out?
Yes, sir.
Alright, help me out. You are knowing but you are not telling. That is the case? Alright,
Yes, sir.
alright.
Earnings of selling company before merger.
What is earnings of selling company before merger is, I'll tell you, earnings is 10 lakhs. Alright.
Into difference in PE ratio.
What is difference in PE ratio? Now it is multiplied by 10. Before it was multiplied by 5. Alright, this is 10 lakhs into 5 is 5 lakhs. Should I not do anything about purchasing company? Sorry, it is 50 lakhs. 10 lakhs into 5 is 50 lakhs. Yes. Yes. Stuti, go ahead.
Sir, the purchasing company's PE ratio is remaining same, right?
Alright, purchasing company's PE ratio is remaining same. It is a 10, it was a 10. So, 20 lakhs into 10 minus 20. 20 lakhs into 10 minus 10. This will help you out when the PE ratio is decreasing. When it is decreasing, it should be 9 minus 10 or 8 minus 10. But this time is 0. Yes. Other student can also help Stuti. Stuti, can you solve it again? It is not 110 still.
Yes, sir. Sir, synergic gain into PE ratio.
Exactly. Synergic gain is 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs into PE ratio is 10, which is nothing but 60 lakhs. This is 110. That's alright. So, for examination, you should know this. But if you are actually learning the concept of merger and acquisition, you should also know this. Alright. See, this is a theory question asked. What are benefits of merger? You don't have to mug up that theory paragraph and what are the benefits of merger. You'll be easily able to write down this. Alright. What are the benefits of merger? What is synergic gain? If you are logically knowing what is synergic gain, believe me, you will be able to write down a quality answer where you will be getting full marks. Alright. So this is nothing but how the benefit is calculated. It can be calculated in this manner also, in this manner also. See, why here we are getting exact same answer. In previous question I told you, we were not getting the answer. This was 28 lakhs, this is 27 lakhs, 72,000. Is it alright? Why? Here it was rounded off. This figure was rounded off. Is it alright? Here, this figure is exact. It is not 2.4 something. It is exactly 2.4. And even this figure 2.88 is not rounded off. It is exact answer. Let me show you. It is 36 lakh divided by 12.5. Are you getting it? It is 2.8. You can say this. Is it alright? It is 2.88. So it is not rounded off. Once it is not rounded off, there will be no rounding off difference in this particular question.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can we find out the benefit for the company in terms of earnings in this question? Or we need to do it only by market value in exam?
You need to see if nothing is given, you should find out both. Is it all right? So I have done of market value, you should do of earnings. Is it all right? In earnings, this will happen, Stuti?
Yes, sir, and this
Earnings.
No, sir. This won't happen, but there will be profit because of synergic gain.
And how much will be the profit to both the shareholders? Net?
6 lakh.
Exactly. Is it all right? This is what we have learned in that previous two charts. If you understand that previous two charts, this questions, it will feel that it is nothing. It will be very simple. But if you will know this, believe me, you will be confident in your practical life even. That's it all. You need to find out of earnings also. If nothing is given, you should find out of earnings also. Seven point 1.13. T Limited and E Limited are in the same industry. The former is negotiation for acquisition of later. So this is purchasing, this is selling. Important information about the two companies as per latest financial statement are as given. Is it all? For acquisition of later. So T Limited is purchasing company. E Limited is selling company. 10 equity shares outstanding. Rupees 10 equity shares outstanding. 12 lakhs. That is 1.2 lakh shares. Debt is given. Earning before interest, depreciation and tax is given. Market price per share is given. T Limited plans to offer a price for E Limited business as a whole, which will be 7 times earning before interest, depreciation and tax, reduced by outstanding debt to be discharged by own shares at market price. So this will be the valuation of E Limited. E Limited is planning to seek 1 share in T Limited for every 2 shares in E Limited. Based on the market price, tax rate for two companies may be assumed at 30%. See, please understand, this will also give you exchange ratio. This will also give you exchange ratio. Sir, then which exchange ratio should be used? Please try to concentrate. T Limited is planning something. E Limited is planning something. We will be calculating from both point of view. From E Limited points of view also and from T Limited point of view also. Calculate following under both the alternatives, that is T Limited's offers and E Limited's offer. Net consideration payable, number of shares to be issued by T Limited, EPS of T Limited after acquisition, expected market price per share after acquisition. So the questions are same. Just I want the exchange ratio, and believe me, this particular point's exchange ratio is the somewhat typical. I am finding out that exchange ratio first. Alright. What T Limited is planning? This is purchasing company's planning. Is it alright? T Limited plans to offer a price for E Limited business as a whole, which will be 7 times EBIDAT. This is EBIDAT. This is EBIDAT of purchasing selling company. So they are planning to give total price of 115.71 multiplied by 7, which is 115.71 multiplied by 7, that is 809.97. 809.97. Start. Reduced by outstanding debt. So what are outstanding debt of this company is 240. Whatever it might be, institutional loan, anything, it does not matter. Is it all right? This will be purchase consideration as decided by T Limited. Is it all right? Which will be 809.97 minus 240. It is a 569.97. It is 569.97. Is it all right? So this is what a purchasing company is offering, that we will pay you rupees 5, this is lakhs, 569.97 lakhs rupees for your business by issuing our own shares at market price. What is our shares market price? 220. See, we are going to pay them this cash? No, we are going to pay them shares of rupees 220. So how many shares should be issued? It is 569.97 rupees we need to pay, divided by 220. This many lakhs shares should be issued. 569.97 divided by 220. It is a 2.590. I will be writing it in lakhs. 2,59,077 shares. 2,59,077 shares, because this was in lakhs. Sorry. This many number of shares should be issued to selling company by purchasing company, and this is offer of T Limited. Sir, we don't understand with number of shares. We understand with exchange ratio. Of course, I'll be finding out exchange ratio. Exchange ratio is what you are getting divided by what you are having. As a selling company, the shareholders, what you are getting? 2,59,077 shares. How many shares you are holding? 6 lakh shares. What is the exchange ratio? It is 259,077 divided by 6 lakhs, which is 0.43179. Start. This is exchange ratio which T Limited is suggesting. Exchange ratio which T Limited is suggesting. This is exchange ratio. Start. Let me just find out whether we are going correct or not. Exchange ratio is this. Yes, this is this. Let me find out all the details that they want. In following both alternatives, I am first finding out for alternative 1. Net consideration payable is rupees 569.97. Answer number 2. Number of shares to be issued by T Limited, it is 2,59,077. Number of shares to be issued to shareholders of selling company. 3. EPS of T Limited after acquisition. Assuming PE ratio is remaining same. This should be when we do MPS. They are just right now finding out EPS 1-2. It is earnings of company 1 plus earnings of company 2 plus synergic gain upon N1 plus N2 into exchange ratio. But we are not having earnings of company 1 and earnings of company 2. Say this. They have given earning before interest, depreciation and taxes. It is 400.86 and 115.71. I need to find out earning after tax. 400.86. I'll be finding it out. 400.86 and 115.71. 115.71. Start it. Interest will be deducted. Yes. Start. Interest. 10% on debentures of 580 lakhs is 58. 12.5% institutional loan of 240 lakhs. 240 lakhs into 12.5 percentage is equal to is 30 lakhs. Is interest. This will be profit before tax. Depreciation, I don't think any of the hint is given. Even if the hint is given, the rate should be given. Alright, depreciation is not given. I can go ahead without even taking depreciation. Profit before tax will be 400 minus 58 is 342.86. And profit after tax will be 70% of this because 30% is taxation. 342.86 multiplied by 0.7. It is 240.002. 240.00. 115.71 minus 30. 115.71 minus 30. It is 85.71. Multiplied by 0.30. 0.70. Because I am directly finding out after tax. It is 59.997. I can find out now the profit after tax. I can use it as an earnings. So earnings of company 1 is 240.002. Earnings of company 2 is 59.997 plus synergic gain given 0 is 0 and 1 is 12 lakhs. No. 10 equity shares outstanding. Yes, it is 12 lakhs. Sorry. And this is number of shares. So this is N. It is 12 lakhs. Plus, I am not doing this N2 into exchange ratio. I am already having it. 2,59,077. This will be 240.002 plus 59.997. It is 299.999. I can take it 300. Divided by 14.59077 lakhs. This is also in lakhs. This is also in lakhs. 300 divided by 14.59077. It is 20.5609. This is EPS 12. Alright, what they are asking fourth. Expected market price of shares after T Limited. Assuming PE ratio of purchasing company is the same, then MPS 12 will be EPS 12 multiplied by PE 12. EPS 12 is the 20.5609 multiplied by PE 12 will remain I'll have to find out PE ratio. It is not directly given. Is it all right? I'll have to find out PE ratio. Is it all right? I will be finding it out. What is MPS is 220? MPS is 220. I need EPS to get PE ratio. What is the profit after tax of purchasing company is 240.002? It is total 240.002 divided by number of shares. Number of shares is 12 lakhs. It is 20. This is 20. MPS divided by EPS. PE ratio is equal to 220 divided by 20 is 11. So PE ratio of 1 to will be 11. Because of purchasing company it is 11. We are assuming it is remaining same. It will remain 11. It is 20.5609 multiplied by 11. It is 226.1699. What was good in this point? Not this whole thing, but this. The exchange ratio was somewhat typical. To find out purchase consideration was not direct, was somewhat typical. Is it all right? E Limited concept will be easy because we have done n number of times. E Limited is planning to take 1 share in T Limited for every 2 shares held in E Limited. So they are planning for exchange ratio of 0.50. Based on the market price. Based on the market price also exchange ratio is 0.50. Yes, 110 divided by 220 is nothing but 0.50. Stop. So alternative to exchange ratio 0.50 is based upon MPS. Let me find out one by one what they are asking. Net purchase consideration payable. Net purchase consideration payable. How many number of shares were there in selling company? Were 6 lakh shares. Believe me, you are paying 6 lakhs into their market value, which is 110. It is lakhs. Sir, we don't understand this. We are having an exchange ratio of 0.50. How we are giving them 660 lakhs rupees? Try to concentrate. How many shares they are having? 6 lakhs. What exchange ratio you are giving? 0.5. So you are giving only 3 lakh shares. Of which company? Of purchasing company. What is purchasing company's value? Is 220 market price. This is MPS. This is you find out what rupees or what value you are giving to selling company shareholders is this. If you will find out, this will be also 660 lakhs. Believe me, exchange ratio. Today's the lecture first point. Exchange ratio based upon market price means you are giving to selling companies, the shareholders, their market price, and this is their market price which you are giving them. Is it all right? Yes, of course, in the form of your company's share. Number 2, number of shares to be issued by T Limited. 6 lakhs multiplied by 0.5, 3 lakh shares is to be issued. EPS of T Limited after acquisition. It is the 240.002. Have I found out total? Yes, it is 300. Total earnings of both the company. N1 is 12 lakhs. Plus new share issued is 3 lakhs. You can also do 6 lakhs into 0.5. Is it alright? It is the 12 into 3, 15 lakhs will be 200 rupees. Sorry, it will be 20 rupees. This is 12 lakhs plus 3 lakhs is 6 lakhs. This is 300 lakhs. Yes. It is 20 rupees. Will be EPS 1 2. Expected market price of T Limited after acquisition. Again, assuming purchasing company's PE ratio remains same. MPS 12 is equal to EPS 12 into PE ratio of 12. PE ratio of 12 is remaining same, to 20 into 11, it is 220 rupees. So under both the alternatives, if this is the alternative, believe me, answer becomes extremely simple. In alternative one, it is somewhat typical. Typical is just to find out exchange ratio or purchase consideration. We are going to next question. This next question we'll be doing in next lecture. That's all.